life coach. It's Brooke Booth, life coach at brookeboothcoaching.com, where I help Mormons in mixed faith marriage. And I'm going to talk about this concept of harmony versus integrity. I see a conundrum facing so many in a mixed faith marriage: how to be in integrity with yourself and harmony with your marriage, in your marriage. And it often plays out like this. How do I honor my wife's desire, such as not talking to the kids about my faith transition, and honor my own integrity? How do I share with them the things that matter to me, such as my faith journey? Another one is, how do I show up as a good parent and teach them values and not upset my spouse? How do I show up and be a member and participate in the community I love without being able to tick all the belief boxes? How do I support my spouse around church attendance and also be in integrity with my own personal beliefs? How do I honor who I am? Maybe you like tattoos or beer, and honor my spouse who doesn't want exposure to things like tattoos and beer. Seems to be a belief that harmony in a mixed faith marriage must come at the price of your personal integrity, or vice versa. So this is in essence a zero-sum game. And I think the problem here is the belief that these two things, that is personal integrity and marital harmony, are in opposition to each other. And I want to suggest, I want you to consider, what if that were just not true? Now I hear you. If I were to really in my authentic way, my spouse would lose their mind. They might, but they might also love it. They might panic a little at first, and then they might realize that you're still you. A lot of times what happens is we hide the authentic version of ourselves, or who we really want to be, from our spouse, because we're afraid they're not going to like that version of us. And then they never get a chance to know that version of us. They never get to know that person, and so they never get to actually fall in love and develop a relationship with that person. And I want to suggest to you that the authentic version of you, even if it seems a little foreign to who you've presented as, is very lovable and very attractive, and your spouse might love them. It will take time to develop the relationship with that part of you, but it doesn't mean you can't do it. I think that when we buy into the belief that harmony in our marriage and our own personal integrity are incompatible, we feel stuck. We've developed resentment and frustration in the relationship because we can't be who we want to be. We can't be who we think we should be. So what if we just threw that out the window and believed we could have both? Because when we do that, we try to find ways to have both. We start to look for ways of incorporating both. Many of my clients, here's an example. They'll want to teach their kids something. So many of my clients have like 100 things they can teach their kids that would in no way upset their spouse. And maybe 20 that they want to teach their kids that their spouse isn't super excited about. And guess what they do? They don't teach the 100 things because of the fear of the 20 things that would upset their spouse. And what I say is, don't worry about the 20 things. Teach the 100 things and be in integrity with yourself. You can be. You don't just let the 20 things go. Show up teaching those 100 things. You're going to feel so much better about how you're showing up. So many of my clients want to stop attending church, drink coffee, get a tattoo, whatever. Like yesterday, I was just on a call with a lady who wanted to stay in the church, and she was feeling pressure from her husband to leave. So a lot of times we want to do certain things, and we think our spouse doesn't want us to do those things. And we're so afraid of what will happen if we do something that our spouse doesn't, quote unquote, like. So we live in resentment about what we can't have, instead of owning that and choosing not to make a choice. We do that in order to avoid issues when we don't really know what's going to happen anyway. So what I like to suggest in that is, Start cultivating the idea, just maybe, you can have harmony and integrity. You can have a wonderful marriage even if your spouse doesn't approve or agree of all of your choices, whether that's to stay in the church or step out of the church. Maybe you can have both. And when you can start to accept this as a possibility, then you can start to find ways to integrate it and to let it be a reality. It first has to be a possibility. You have to sort of entertain the idea before you can come up with solutions and make it a reality. This is a huge change in belief. And a huge change, if really embraced in your belief system, can create a huge shift. And I know this sounds like, but what is this going to get me, Brooke? It's just an idea. But this is how we make big changes in our marriage. We have to shift ideas and belief systems so we can create room and space for solutions and new ways of doing things. So I'm going to suggest you look at this belief that you can't have harmony in your marriage and be in integrity with your own personal belief. And I want you to try to prove that wrong. Try to create a belief system where you can have both. Because that's the only way you're going to find solutions and ways to have both. And guess what? We want both. And it's possible to have both. Okay, if you need help with this, if you're like, okay, Brooke, I sort of get what you're saying. It sounds good. I have no idea how to implement that. That's okay. I've got you. That's where I come to help. This is a lot of what I teach my coaching clients. I have a group program starting in February of 2022, very first week of February, where we'll teach a lot of how you do this, how you are in harmony in your marriage and integrity with yourself. I also do it in one-on-one coaching. I don't have any open slots now. My next open slot is the group coaching. So that's what I'm going to offer to you. If you want to get coached and figure out how to do this, reach out to me, brookeboothcoaching.com. Click on schedule a free call. Let's get on a call together and talk to each other and see if coaching is what you need to both have a harmonious marriage and be in integrity with yourself, regardless of where you are or your spouse is on your faith journeys. It is possible. All right, wishing you the best.